Hey. So, second time today. Had fun time with Kaylin a little bit earlier today. Thanks, Kaylin, again for agreeing to do that little test run. And probably we'll have you on Monday night. I'll verify that with you tomorrow. But I have some really good news. I generally don't like to make changes to the tour this late in the season because you've all have done your mapping and I don't want you to be worried about changes right now. We change that in case of fire or we find out that something's closed. I will say that I noticed on the forum that someone had posted about Falls Creek Road on day 7 being closed again this year. Uh, and there's plenty of ways around that. And I haven't had a chance to respond on the forum yet, but I will. Your only obligation when something like that's closed, and you know it's going to be closed, is uh, in that particular case, when you come out of Elk City, get back on the 505 trail, just keep riding until you get out to the top of Falls Creek Road. Then just don't ride Falls Creek Road. Take any of the purple alternative routes down the Lowell. The best one is the first one because it's the shortest, but the second one's just a little bit longer. However, make sure you take a good look at those before you do them because some teams have gotten lost in that area. It's pretty easy to do. So those are the kind of changes that are necessary because things just change. Fires pop up, roads are closed from year to year. People in the Forest Service do maintenance on things that we use. But this is a change that I wanted to make just because it's cool. So there's a member of the Tour of Idaho community, a gentleman named Chip Buss, who's been a member of the community for, I don't know, several seasons now, runs a business down in McCammon, which you can almost throw a rock and hit from the Tour of Idaho Trail. And I'd been in there a couple of times before, but I had never eaten. And Megan and I went down for lunch today at 8, and I had absolutely the finest hamburger I've ever had in my life. This place is wonderful. It's a really cool little place. It's very pleasant. The food there is simply wonderful. And because John's been a supporter of ours and has been hanging around for a while, that's exactly the kind of business that we want to support in the tour. So we went and mapped it out. It's a 10-minute detour from the tour route. And the detour is at a place called Harkness. And I'll put this on some maps and stuff. I'll make it available. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to make a side trip into the Little Rock Cafe. I think it's 201 Center Street in McCammon. Again, I'll put all this on a map. I'm going to make that another bonus section for day 1. So the way I count, there's 3 bonus sections available on day 1, depending on which route you're taking. This would be far and away the easiest to get. Again, from where you get the Boundary Trail crosses the Forest Service Road near Harkness, it's 10 minutes from there to be sitting at the front door of this cafe. You be there. If you're on the 2 or 3 person team route, you ought to be there. If you're on the 2-person route, you ought to be there about 2 in the afternoon. The 3-person route, maybe 3 in the afternoon. If you're a soloist, you ought to be there a little bit after lunch. It's a great place to have lunch. It's way better than any place that I could send you in Lava Hot Springs. And Chip's one of us. So, it makes sense to support our own. Anyway, I guarantee you'll be blown away by this place. It is the best hamburger I've had in my life. Hand-cut fries that are done the right way. It's a really groovy little place. So you don't have to do this. We're making it a bonus section, which means you get a point if you go there, a point that you can stick in your back pocket somewhere. But I'm going to sweeten the deal a little bit by saying I'm going to make the Little Rock Cafe also worth a supplemental challenge point. So when you go there, if we see that you've been there by your beacon and you take a picture there with someone that waited on you or take a picture of you outside the building, you're going to get a supplemental point. Now, of course, you can't just ride there, poach the point and ride off. You have to stop and dine. Just like in any of these other places, you have to stay there. You have to interact with the people there somehow. But you need lunch anyway on day 1. This is a pretty darn good place to do it. It's a little late in the day, but it's way better than any alternative I can think of. It's a wonderful place. I think you'll like the food a lot, and you'll be doing a solid by a good guy and a supporter of the Tour of Idaho. So that's my news for today. I'm pretty stoked about it. I really do think you all will like this place. I'm sorry to make the addition so late, but today was the first day I'd ever actually sat down and eaten there. I've been in and out before and bought a few things, but had never had lunch there before. It's just absolutely splendid. Best hamburger on the planet. I've been talking to Chip a little bit over the interwebs. I told him I was thinking about doing this, and he thought it was a wonderful idea, and he thanked everybody in advance. And I'm going to ask him to stock a few things that would help you out, some Pedialyte, some sports drinks, things like that, things that I don't think he'll have a hard time getting his hands on. So he'll have an alternative to water or soda pop or something like that, should you choose. So anyway, there you go. Yet another bonus section on the tour, another way for you to earn a point. And I guarantee you this is far and away the easiest way for you to earn a point, except maybe doing that out and back on day 4. That's pretty easy too. So, I'll get maps and stuff at the next couple of days. I'm not going to go back and I think change the entire day 1 map this year. What I think I'll do is load up a little supplemental. It's so easy to find your way in that I don't think we need to do a lot. I can just draw you a little bit of a map, load it up, put it. I may give you a couple of waypoints to make it easy, but you should be able to find your way to this place quite easily. And if you do a Google search on Little Rock Cafe in McCammon, Idaho, it'll come right up. There'll be a pin right there where it is. So anyway, that's it. I really dig days like today because I feel like that we were able to do right by ourselves and also do good by somebody else. I hope you had as much fun with the little video of Kaylin as I did. She gets a little nervous about stuff like this, and I think before she changes her mind, I'm going to make her a guest on the upcoming PBR Monday, and we'll talk to her a little bit more about the Smoky Bar store. But for those of you who have not been here before and you don't know what you're getting into, the one thing I hope comes through in a lot of this stuff, talking to people besides me, is not only the sense of adventure, but the sense of fun and the sense of how cool people think what you are doing is. There are literally people cheering for you as they're watching your beacon progress. There's people everywhere watching what you're doing. When you come rolling these little towns and stuff, there's people like Chip that want you to come to their place and they think what you are doing is cool. So if you come into this with the right mindset that you're here for fun and adventure, I don't think you're going to be disappointed, and you're going to make friends that you'll have for the rest of your life. All right, that's it. I've taken enough of your time, and I got to fly anyway. So thanks a lot. I'll get all this stuff up ASAP, and see you all Monday night on PBR Monday. Ciao.